afternoon, everyone. I'm Amarjeet. I invite you to the discussion today that we'll have on innovation and imagination. What relation imagination can have with innovation? A mental abstract which converts into physical manifestation. And what is the reality behind all the innovations? What are the thought process behind all those innovations? So I take you on the journey. If I speak to everyone and ask, where was the first aircraft was made? So people will give, different examples. Probably someone will say it was made in, Greece. Someone will say it was made in ancient Greek area or ancient Indian area, or probably people will mention about Wright brothers. But I believe before anything comes to reality, that's get made in the mind. It is the mental concept or it is the mental abstract which manifests into physical being or physical innovation. This is what Albert Einstein also mentioned. Imagination is everything. It is preview of life's coming attractions. And this is important for everyone to realize. Imagination is the foundation for every successful physical manifestation of any kind of innovation in the world. Most of the time we think, we don't belong to science stream, or maybe we have not been trained for science or innovation or engineering or maybe life science. We cut ourselves off the innovation. But most of the innovation in the world is done by people who are very imaginative, we are very creative. And we'll discuss in the course of our discussion. I'll take you through how an innovation is achieved. First of all, you get an idea. Then you lay your idea on a concept paper. You make a drawing, like if I'm building an aircraft, I will build a concept first. Then I will look into what are the realities, what are the physics behind, whether what kind of physical or gravitational principles will work, which will impact my flying, and what kind of material I need. Then I will prepare a prototype, then I will try, and I will fail. I will also check how to power the system, whether I should use wood, whether I should use metal, whether I should use alloy. And over a period of time, I will improvise my prototype, and then failure after failure, we will have a first flight. And this is what happened with Wright brothers. No one succeeds in one shot. These gentlemen, they were bicycle mechanics. They were not trained scientists, but they had an imagination about a flying aircraft. And this is what they turned into. Innovation which turned into a very big industry today, which provides millions of jobs across the world. Not only that, but when we discuss about innovation, we need to also understand innovation is Mother Nature's creation. It doesn't happen without any involvement of human interpretation, but also existence of every molecule. The first molecule on the earth, or the material, or the metal, physics and chemistry, they found their own way to act. Carbon atom knows how to behave as a carbon. Ferrous knows how to behave as iron. They have their own property, they have their own limitation, they have their own behavior. Similarly, these compounds turn into hydrocarbons over a period of time and then created a DNA, which didn't have its own soul, but created human beings, species, animals. And then we see, second generation of science, which is started with DNA. And then came the neural connection. Then animals started developing the neural pattern. The brain happened. Then behind the brain, imagination and abstract. What we did, we human realized that we need to make machines. And we made IT solutions. And we created IT framework, which developed software, AI, and other paraphernalia, which is we are using to deliver the goods to the science. And now, human neural connection is getting combined with IT backbones, or the brain which we call artificial intelligence. And sooner, the bridge between physical world and life science is merging. So tomorrow's future is not limited to IT world or a physical world or physics or chemistry student having a different innovation space, but there will be overlap. There will be fusion of these two streams, and this is what will lead to the sixth level where universe will awaken itself. Material will become smart. Today, we are talking about smart devices, smart equipment. Tomorrow, the material and matter will become so smart and conscious that you will see a new universe. But before we jump into this evolution of the science, we need to understand we human beings, when we are given a task, we think in a linear direction. If I ask everyone, the standard paper of 80 GSM, if we start folding it, if we start folding it one time, it will be very small because it is just 0.13 mm. But if you fold it 13 times, it will be 1 meter. If you will fold it 20 times, it will become like a football field. And if you will fold it 38 times, it will be as big as, circumference of Earth. And if you fold it 50 times, you can have a distance covered from Earth to Sun. This is the exponential impact of science, which we don't see in the day-to-day practice. It's only when the science realizes or manifests into real being, then only we realize that, science is exponential. This is the first computer, not the first computer, it is the computer designed in 1997 in California. It was the first terabyte computer, which was supposed to do 1 billion calculation per second. The cost of this computer was 50 million USD. But in 2017, the same calculation I could afford in 2000 USD. And then if we move forward, today my iPhone, the 16 Pro, can do 37 times more calculation than the 50 million innovation which happened in 1997. This is the speed of science. And this is the Blackwell chip, which can do, iPhone 16 can do has 20 billion chips, 20 billion transistor. This has 208 billion transistor. So it can do 37x of what your iPhone is delivering. But by end of 2030, you will have a chip which will do 1,000 transistor in one chip itself. So we are, in a space where evolution is very fast-paced. It is doubling. It's doubling, not doubling, but quadrupling. So you can see the exponential impact of the technology in your life. A rare global success when we see, the science creates problem and science can also create solution. This is the example from our childhood. We can see when we were in, maybe in our early primary schools in 1990s, one of those people who are of my age, they will realize one talk of ozone layer, that ozone layer is getting depleted. And most of the time, most of the problem, we look forward to the government to fix the problem. Like for pollution, we are expecting our government to do something. But this was something discovered in 1987, where during the Montreal Pact, everyone realized because of the carbon fluorides, which is used for refrigeration, is causing this depletion. And the private players and private companies got together and started fixing it. And the good news is, by start of 2000, ozone layer started replenishing. It is not only replenishing, it is getting better than before. So science can deliver human goods. It's like a tool in the hand. If you have a gun in the hand of a soldier, he will protect you. If you have a gun in the hand of someone who's crooked, you know what impact it can have. So science is a tool to deliver human good. And this is what the human good we are looking forward in near future. The air travel that you have seen, now we are playing with air. We have so many options of commute. Energy, which is one of the most compelling reason for all the wars in the world. Life science, human well-being, even the aging is what we are looking forward to fix in the near future. Food, the human population is growing rapidly, already 7 billion people on the earth, and there's enough, not sufficient food for everyone. So it is the science which can deliver the food to the people who need. And death. It is estimated by 2045, death will be optional. You will have a subscription to revive yourself. And human and technology is going to create a future which we can just imagine. I'll take you through some of the example. Transportation, I really need not to spend much time on this. You all are experiencing autonomous travel around you. You will have robotaxis, and childhood, if you have seen Terminator movie, you would see autonomous vehicle in those. You would see Apple gadget, which currently we are wearing as an Apple Watch, was already manifested in those movies some 30 years back. All these things which we are seeing today, realizing in the world, is already manifested in some of the movies of Hollywood as a fiction, but it is not fiction, it is the reality. So imagination turning into the physical being in our real world. If I move forward, energy. Energy is the most compressing issue of the world, and some of the scientists are working to deliver abundant source of energy so that you do not have the compressing need of energy for which lots of war and casualties happening in the world. There will be time in next 10 to 15 years where you will have small nuclear reactors sitting in your colony and providing endless supply to your colony. So there will be no more voting for the 200 unit of electricity, because there will be abundant energy. It will become a redundant policy for the people to attract people for voting just to have energy needs. So small nuclear reactors are already at prototype stage, and soon it will be at a large scale supply to colonies, domestic use, and the factories. One of the scientists who recently been to space technology, Space Research Center, did one practical on the tardigrade bear. This is the smallest microorganism that we have. But the specialty of this microorganism is this is 600 million year old. So it is older than us. They took this microorganism to study life science. It is not only that it can yield multiple protein, so it will supply the future need of protein if we ever decide to settle on the space. So science is working even to fix food issue not only on the earth but also in the space. This is one of the device which is a wearable breast protection equipment which will provide capnographic input. If you have any chance of disease, especially breast cancer disease, it can diagnose well in advance through the proteomatics, analyzing the protein, what kind of proteins are flowing inside your blood, and it will prevent the causality of the cancer. If we move the era, you can see bionics. Bionics is a physical automated your hand, which is mounted on arms or maybe the limbs, where it is taking impulse from neural connection. But neural connection is not digital. It is not 1010 reading or language. But still, we have come so far in the technology that bionics can take instruction from neural connection. We have bionic eye. So it's like camera being implanted. Your one eye could be the natural one, other eye could be the artificial, and it will interpret both eyes and give you the same rendering of the data quality as well as the color reproduction. Human being, if you lose one organ, you can implant your totipotent cells inside an animal and can grow your own liver inside an animal and replace that organs. Today, lots of patients are dying because of the lack of organ replacement. Gesture control computing, that's very common. So now you can see here, life science is interacting with the equipment and equipment is interacting with life science, where we have come so far. In future, you will be thinking and your computer will start writing what you're thinking. This is already happening in the space of our depression treatment. Mount Sinai Institute in US is already working on this philosophy, where patient will interact with the chat GPT or maybe artificial intelligence, and his behavior will decode the future potential of depression. Not only that, it will be able to diagnose the biomarkers, the chances of any success of any medicine. So today, a patient is given medicine based on previous data, based on a talent, based on a patient pool where we had some kind of success. But it is not personalized based on the patient's own biomarkers. So AI will be able to tell you whether this medicine will work on this patient or not, rather than wasting through the entire regimen period and trying different options. You can reprogram your own cell into ovum and sperm. You can have your own clone, or you can be biological father or mother of your own self. So this is again one of the program which is happening. This is one successful practical where ChatGPT can assume what mice is going to react for any given video input. So in near future, GPT will be able to predict what you guys are going to do if you are interacting with ChatGPT. I would not dwell into much of it, but food is one of the major area where your preferential food will be made based on your personalized requirement, based on your gene. It's already happening in gut biome. Gut biome is major research area currently in India. You will receive your food based on your own genetic composition. So if your genetic doesn't suit to certain kind of food, you will be able to skip those food and avoid lifestyle diseases. There's already companies working and asking for subscription to store human bodies so that in near future, when we will conquer on the death, they will be able to revive and heal your bodies. It is already happening, and there are already 3 startups working in this area. AI is changing how we are interacting with the dead, how we are interacting in different space of life, even in spirituality. My final call to all of you is innovation doesn't need a practical science degree. You can see all these gentlemen, they were from different walk of life, but they created biggest innovation a human being can see. So please, wear your hat of imagination. Imagination is the seed of innovation, and probably you will be the one fixing all these major problems of human being in near future. I call upon for you to be more imaginative and be more innovative, provide solution to the humankind. Thank you very much.